Hello, Epic 7. I'm here to ask for a favor. DukeJosh has made another community-driven survey. Now, this isn't an official Epic 7 survey, no leaves for your time here, but this survey is important. In the past, DukeJosh has made these surveys, and they have had a profound impact on the direction and changes we've seen in the game. In the past, we've seen 70% or more of the requested changes in these surveys come to fruition, so I'm hoping to boost the signal on this one so that more people can have a chance to help guide the future of our game. Now to that end, I've teamed up with Reddos, a high-end RTA streamer and commentator, as well as DivineShadow, a official Epic 7 commentator and a game developer, not for Epic 7, but a game developer in his own right. Together we're going to do a podcast of sorts. We will discuss this survey and give our unique opinion on the questions, their relevance, and the impact they'll have on the game. Now let me be clear, we're not trying to sway decisions. We're just openly discussing our opinions, some of which are not in agreement. What we want is for everyone to answer this survey in the way they feel is best for the game. Now think about that last bit. What's best for the game? Not what's best for you, not what's best for your personal account alone, but what's best for the overall health, longevity, and playability of this game. A link to this survey will be in the description of the video as well as the comment section, and we'll also have links to the socials for Reddos, Divine Faker, and also DukeJosh in case you want to message him directly about the survey. I'm sorry about the microphone quality. We really should have done a test run on this, but I hope you enjoy this podcast.
Unit questions. So questions relevant to heroes and artifacts. So we got, how do you feel about the cost of Molagora for 4-star units? You guys want to start? Because I don't give a rat's hind end about 4-star units. I think we get a good chunk of Mola, and most of the Mola issues have been addressed, but I've been playing long enough that maybe I'm speaking from a point of privilege.
I will say I do think it lowers having Molagora costs for 4-star units kind of hinders being able to experiment with said. There's a couple of them there that are fringe that could actually be used that you really can't try to invest in and experiment with because they're just too high. So I think personally, I think it's too high, but I mean, I don't think we have enough 4-star units to really matter either. So
yeah, that's exactly what I was going to say. I think the problem is at the end of the day, I'm thinking Sid, I'm thinking Watcher Shuri, Fire Shuri for PvE, and like at some point, I see the problem coming back to Molagoras themselves over 4-star units role in it, right?
So, yeah,
I don't
really.
Okay. Molagora is a huge moneymaker for Epic 7, and I really hate doing anything that messes with Molagora because you're directly messing with the game's income. And when you do that, they will find a way to make that income back in some other fashion. So if you don't like how monetized Molagora are, and you reduce it, they're going to monetize something else worse to make up for the loss. They're not just going to take a net financial loss unless it's really, really needed for customer satisfaction. And I don't think it is at this point. So things like the Mola reset, I'm kind of a hard no on, especially a limited number of times per month. I mean, nobody would ever buy a Mola pack again. You just keep moving your Mola around for whatever units you're using that week. So I just don't like the idea of a Molagora reset from a game stability and developer standpoint. As much as I would love to reset the Mola on my frickin' CDOM and Blaze Dingo, I understand that I would just turn around and use that Mola on meta units and never even think about buying a Mola pack again.
Well, I think personally, the whole Molagora reset conversation has kind of been stabilized through Grace of Growth. Like, we don't I know it sucks that we have, like, you know, thrown all of our Molas away on certain units, but like the Grace of Growth has kind of like stabilized that a bit. Like since we don't have to use Mola on those units in particular, and we could test them out that way. So I don't think it necessarily is needed.
Yeah.
And I can see your argument. I can
that was one of the big arguments was we can't test a unit if we can't reset the Mola, and Grace did fix that. You're right.
No, I don't think Grace fixed that at all.
Well, Grace gave an avenue for it to test the
Grace is a wonderful thing for streamers and content creators, right? But I've talked to many people about it. For like 90% of the player base, they have one unit that's usually either a hunt unit or a PvE unit they really value that's on Grace, and they keep that unit on Grace of Growth for so long, they forget it's a mechanic. So you're caught in a 50-50 of either this unit is Grace of Growth, I need them for this PvE content, I can't take them off, and this is a cheap way to have them do the content I need them to do, or alternatively, the system is so misbegotten that it gets forgotten almost instantly, and then players literally don't use it or take advantage of it. I don't see Grace of Growth being an answer to any of Epic 7's problems. I think it's great for content creators, though.
We're getting ahead of ourselves because I know Grace of Growth talked about later, but I don't know. I mean, this isn't what I'm saying people should pick. This is my opinion, and I'm a 5-year player who does spend. A 1-year player who doesn't might answer these very differently, and that's one of the nice things about a community survey like this is they get a snapshot of the community's opinion as a whole. And I don't want people to vote based on the way Red's voting or I'm voting or Divine's voting. I want them to pick what they feel is right, but be aware of, you know, what hill is worth dying on. Is it going to have a financial effect? Is it going to have a time and manpower impact on the company? And is it really worth the repercussions of asking for that?
I definitely do get your argument in that it could shift monetization to a different thing that might be a little scarier.
We all scream for pity on summons. Everybody wanted pity on summons, so they gave it to us and they cut the rates in half.
Yeah,
They will find another, you know, it's like, okay, you get pity, but it's much, much harder to get your 5-star now.
I see. I really hear what you're saying, Tristen, but I already feel like a lot of those changes are coming. To me, the most insidious and the one that made me reduce my spending on E7 actually has been the recent changes to the leaf packs. The what are they called? The $1
Burning Passions.
The Burning Passions, because they put out Burning Passion 3, which I really felt away because it was insidious. Because I was fine with like, okay, $4 a week, 3 days every once in a while, so like $12, right? $12 you would get about 39, so 40 leaves for like $12. I'm fine with that. But when they put out this last pack that was like, oh, but get $5 now for an extra 20 leaves, of course, if you sunk that much money in, you're going to get it. But that's now increased the cost to $9 per day, which over a weekend is now up to $30.
Yep.
So we went from $14 to $30, almost $30. Pretty much a doubling the amount of money you spend on that event, pretty much. And I think with monetization changes like that, I don't see more punishment for us coming far off, and that's also my perspective.
Well, here's a couple that don't have any direct apparent impact on finances. Should there be a benefit from Friendship 10 on 3-star units, and should we satisfy the OCD level of 0.2% missed crit on the 16.8 versus 17% crit chance at triple S rank?
There's somebody out there in the E7 community who has to go see a therapist monthly because crit is 16.8 and not 17. I say free that guy. I say free him.
I'm like, yeah,
I don't get the.
I see no reason for it, right? And I'm sure it's just a way it's scaled up, the adders to it, and the way the rounding ended. But I mean, good lord, round it off. It's
dude, it's like they're just
irritating.
When you miss that crit, dude, you're using your Rylet, you locked up the S3, you're about to kill someone, and boom, you missed a 0.2 crit, and you're just sitting there with your hands in your face, like, why me, right?
Now, I don't know about you guys on this one, but holy crap, I don't need to friendship farm my 3-star units too.
I think
it's already a big enough pain in the butt to friendship level things up.
I mean, I'm going to be real. I'm sitting there and I'm like, well, my arrow is going to get it no matter what I do. I think 2,500 stigma is nice. That's literally what I do. I'll be like, hey, you friendship the 3-star unit. Here's some stigma. Be happy. That's it. That's all.
I
Really
know.
is.
This
I
one
don't
just
even
falls
think
into
that,
a who
dude. I
cares
think
who
it's
asks category for. I'm
Yeah.
almost like this, right? But I
It's
really
so-
don't like the
it's-
idea of going, wow, that's a really nice benefit. I guess I'll have
Yeah.
to use more boxes and friendship farm my 3 stars now.
It's so far down the totem pole of what we need to fix that I just don't even think
Well,
it's worth talking
there's
about.
some people
personally.
who probably are going to 3-star them anyway. Like they want to see Carrot smile for once in her.
Yeah, I mean, like
God
we
life,
get,
so,
we
you
get
know.
we get faces, right? So I mean, like that's suitable enough. I feel like at this
Red,
point.
But you get
You know-
faces for everyone else too. That's not what they're talking about. But yeah.
You know what, Red? I'm going to let you just have this one right here.
All right, you want me to tell my stories?
Tell them, tear them down, buddy. Tear them down. Get in there.
All right, FRES is
Get
an
mad.
absolutely useless stat, and I will tell you why. I have multiple units that are over 330 FRES on, I think, Destina. I have it on Montmorency, and I have quite a few, and they have all been debuffed easily, I might add, by P-Flan, Solitarias, name it, any kind of unit that you would think. A Bryceria hit it without burn. So, like, just a Bryceria with a casual 260 F. The fact that we need 100 more FRES while also maintaining bulk, while none of these units need really anything other than effectiveness and just a slight bit of other stats, it's absolutely ridiculous. I think that FRES needs some kind of functional buff, because at this point, you can't build enough FRES in the world to resist some of these units. We're seeing units up to 250 effectiveness, 260 effectiveness, and they still have stats because they get it for free.
Especially some kind of buff to, I think, resist set, because like based on what you said, right, and based obviously on the argument of you need 100% effect resistance to meet a unit with their base effectiveness, right? Like that kind of relationship also calls into doubt the relationship between hit set and resist set, right? You get 20 effectiveness over here, you get 20 effect resistance, but those obviously aren't equal. So something to that benefit as well. Yeah.
You could put on 3 resist sets and you're still not safe from a 0 effectiveness unit.
Like I said,
all things being equal.
My Destina is 340 effect res, and she has got hit by P-Flan, Sullies, and a Bryceria that I don't know how that happened. They did not soul burn, I can tell you that. It was literally, my jaw was on the floor.
If we're gonna heal the trauma of the guy suffering from 16.8 crit, please heal my man Red's trauma.
The only units where I feel that effect resistance has any significant substantial impact in keeping debuffs on me are units that have tremendous amounts of built-in resistance as passives, as buffs from their skills. And something to overcome the huge effect res effectiveness relationship, which I agree with you, Red. I think this whole thing needs to be canned and redone.
It really does. It's very bad. I can't deal with it. Dude, even my Destina gets destroyed one more time, bro.
Divine, this is more of a question from you. Assigning VAs and the background images on the unit screens. If I'm not mistaken, all of this would be client side, right? So doing this would just increase the size of the download packet of the file on your phone.
You also have to understand, though, that in a development perspective, audio is one of the biggest things that goes into a file. So we could take Call of Duty for a good example. Call of Duty Warzone, massive game, multiple memes and jokes made about it. A lot of what makes it such a massive file is that it contains the audio files for French, English, all these languages that you can skip on the fly, and you don't really want to compress audio. And a lot of times devs either don't know how to, or they don't want to bother with the cost of compressing that audio to a standard that is manageable for the rest of the system. So it's just, if you do it lazily, it'll be hundreds of gigabytes of uncompressed audio, and if you do it right, there still might be some problems. So yes, it will increase. I wouldn't even say it's crazy to imagine it would double the size file of Epic 7 if you were readily able to do that.
But is doubling the size of the Epic 7 file making it really any bigger than other modern games, like, modern mobile games like Genshin, like Star Rail, like even Nikke? I don't know. I would love to see it, but I also don't want to eat up boatloads of space on my device.
Let me say it in the best way I can. If you want it to be something that is manageable, you do what I believe Arkanites does, where like you can download each language, and it's your choice if you want to download those languages.
Yeah, maybe you don't need all the language packs. Maybe you just want Japanese and English. Maybe you just want Korean and Chinese.
Yeah. And it's already a similar system to what we do with the high-end res images pack, right?
Yeah. Which has got to be a bigger download than the language pack.
You'd really be surprised. Like, audio can be a pain. I'll just say that.
Think we get enough Molagora every month? I'll be honest with you. I think we do. I think we get enough to plus 15 1 unit a month, and we usually get 1 unit a month, and not every unit needs plus 15. So you're always at a little bit of a net positive, enough to plus 15 the new unit, or max out the new unit, and maybe a little left over for some other units, and this is without spending.
Yeah, you know me. I always want more Mola because I'm always like I'm constantly experimenting with different units, and like even like the recently made Brieg. I feel like for me it would be better if I had more, but I do feel like that we do get quite a bit. It's just I've never liked the monetization of Mola, but like we've been all over this already. So
yeah,
I think I'm okay with how much we get monthly. I'm more worried about because my whole thing is like when you're building one unit at a time, that really seems like a Grace of Growth thing to me, where you're like testing them out and then you can build them if you like. I think the system's great for that. My bigger thing is there's no event that increases your Molagora. We have a hunt event to get more crafting materials. We get sky stones all the time and sometimes bonus sky stones from the game. But like there's no time where it's just like bonus Molagora, right? The only time you get that is in the bigger events, in the side stories.
Little side stories.
And even then it's only like one. So if there was like maybe a summer event where we're just like, hey, enough to get a unit up to plus 15, and it was somewhat reliable, people could look forward to, be like, hey, this year I'm going to get like 30 Mola at this time, so I'll be able to do this again. I think it'd be fine the month.
Remember when we used to get new Abyss floors that like you do them and you get 5 red Mola for completing it? That was nice.
Yeah, that's another. Oh my god!
Remember different modes of the game in RTA?
Well, if it doesn't come up at some point, I'm going to give my rant on how this game has too many gosh darn modes. I said gosh darn because I'm a good man. I'm not going to trouble Tristen.
We made it to Grace of Growth.
Yeah.
Do you care about 15. The plus 15 versus the plus 12?
It needs to be 15. I don't know why it's not.
I would even be okay with the manually aside the 12.
No, you don't want that. That's too much work. Just make it 15.
I just don't understand it.
I don't want to assign somebody to figure out a system to let you assign skills in a temporary repository for said units. No, just make it 15. Either make it 15 or don't touch it at all, but don't make it manual. That one's going to be a problem.
The whole point of Grace of Growth was to let people take a unit for a test run, especially content creators, so that they didn't feel like they had to plus 15 every Mola just to make a video about it. But it's for players too, to let them try out a unit and see if it works. And so many units, part of their kit's tied to that S1 skill, and it needs to be plus 13.
Yeah, if it's
or plus 15.
It's like, if it's lethy, it's whatever, right?
Yeah, but imagine CDOM just came out, and you need to test her, and her entire kit's wrapped around her S1 nuke damage, and you can't do the last 3 Molas in her S1.
It's crazy.
Yeah, I've never understood why it was 12 personally.
Imagine a thief with a counter or a knight on Elbrus not having its S1 maxed out. What
do you think about extra? I assume what they mean by extra slots is that we can grace multiple units.
No.
Yeah, I agree. Like, it becomes the same as Mola Recall at that point.
Yeah, we already talked like a little bit. How Divine talked about how that people just won't even use it for like. If we have people who won't even switch units around, I don't think we need another slot.
This just goes from somebody setting and forgetting their Seagret for their Wyvern clear to somebody setting and forgetting all the units that you need for Banshee. Literally,
it's literally just
So speaking of setting and forgetting, you think that the cooldown should be reduced?
I don't think there should be. Oh, okay, maybe there should be. I know why there is. So you can't just like a content creator, like say you're like not even just content creator. Say you're like pushing for legend or something, and you have a grace of growth, and then you switch it onto another unit and you give them crazy gear, that kind of thing. Like I can see why it has a cooldown. I think it should be reduced though. I don't think 3. I think 3 days is kind of crazy, but like a day maybe. Like a day would be fine.
Remember,
personally.
it's not that there's a long cooldown. It's that there is a Skystone penalty for making the cooldown go away. So effectively, telling them to reduce this cooldown is, in Smilegate's mind, taking cash out of their pockets.
I'm going to be
I
real.
I don't think it's that big of a deal, personally.
I'm
in this
stuck.
case.
I'm stuck between two worlds, right? Because I want to say reduce the cooldown because no one in their right mind should be paying 700 Skystone. Like if you're
Right.
no one should be that bad, right? So to me, this isn't even making quote unquote money, right? You should just never be in that position unless you're an Omega Whale and there's already plenty else for you to spend money on, right? But at the same time, it's so useless that I don't even think it should be on the list of priorities, in all honesty. I'm gonna be real with you. I think the Grace of Growth system is kind of just not one of the better things Smilegate put out, and I'd rather see them invest their time into other things than this. That's really it.
This is one that I will die on. Do you think innate dual attack chance needs to be adjusted more? And yeah, I think it needs to be removed and put onto Unity set.
On this hill alone, buddy.
Huh?
I don't think, as you know, as our resident PvP here, I don't think that innate dual chance should be in the video game. It basically compromises like half of the competitive integrity in the game. So like legit, we have an issue right now where there's some people that will literally just take Lionheart. They'll just take Lionheart Sermia. There's nobody that procs it. They just do it so they can protect their ML Landy, and then they win because the other side dual attacks. That should not be a thing.
I'm once again torn because that is not great, yeah. But also Lionheart Sermia is all about believing in luck and chance, and that kind of makes her the most perfectly made unit in the game, where the meta has gone to such a point where people just throw their hands up and say, I'm throwing dice! Let's go, baby! Head home! All on black!
I mean, E7 is pushing to be an esport, and Red used a phrase that I've just fell in love with. It threatens the competitive integrity of the game. We watched the World Cup and other tournaments where the match was decided because of a 3% dual attack, and you'll never convince me that Lionheart Sermia doesn't have some kind of scaling impact on dual attack. The higher up she is in the CR, the more likely a dual attack comes. You will never. Confirmation bias be damned. You will never convince me that's not a thing. I just don't like it. I don't like casino mechanics having that profound of an impact on the outcome of a match.
Yeah, especially when it could be a casino mechanic with somebody like a Rylot who's one away from getting his S3 bar filled. It could be the casino mechanic of a lot of times, like you get the dual attack with what I think is one of the best tanks to get a dual attack with, Arrowell, who's going to come in and snag 2 buffs like she's the Grinch and then heal herself afterwards, right?
Now, what I do like when dual attack was a strategy, when somebody went to the effort of putting Unity set on their kit or a dual attack influencing artifact on their kit, they made a conscious decision to lose stats or lose gear score in one way, to drop their crit set, to drop their immunity set, to drop their pen set in order to get the competitive advantage of a dual attack chance. And then when it happens, you're like, that guy was thinking, not that guy got lucky.
Yeah, and that's really the thing. And you said it earlier, and I'm just going to agree with you. Unity set should be the only way that dual checks are.
Well, hold on. I didn't get to say my piece. What I was going to say. I agree with everything you guys have said. No, I think 3% is acceptable. I fear heavily how many things change and what the 30 knock-on effects are if 3% dual attack chance is changed. It's always been 3%, right?
No, it's always been 5. They dropped it to
Oh, it was
3
5.
recently and
5 to
added the
3,
difference into dual attack or into
Added the
Unity
difference in
set.
the Unity set. Yeah,
Actually,
that's
they added double the difference into Unity set. They took a Unity set from what 4% to 11 or 4% to
like, I think it's 11. And
4% to 8%. Yeah, they doubled Unity. They took Unity from 4 to 8, and then you get the 3 additional organic, taking it 11. And I'd be fine with the 3 going away and Unity becoming 15.
I really
I just
don't
fear
mind that.
too much of like what this is all going to do. You know, if that creates like a gold rush towards getting Unity gear, it's too much for me to say that I think it would be, in all honesty, healthy for E7.
And,
I think it's one of those decisions that's made
before anybody thinks, but 3 Unity sets that's 45% dual attack. No, it's not. It's hard capped in the game at 30%.
Yeah,
it's actually stated inside the game.
It's just stated in a place you've never checked, and you don't even know where it is.
Yeah, that's a whole nother thing.
Yeah. How do you feel about the current rate of release
Too
specialty change heroes?
Too slow. Bro, we don't ever get them. I swear.
Yeah, I do think it's too slow, but I don't want it to be much faster than it is. But I would like to see more than, what do we get? Like 1, maybe 2 a year, maybe? Who was our last? Maybe. Who was our last one?
I don't even know where last.
Is it Shepard Jenna, right?
Yeah, Jenna, and she was in. Was she even this year? I can't remember.
Yeah, she was.
And who was before that? Arrowell was before that. Arrowell. I mean, this year.
The only special, I guess you can. Do you count Auden from the story?
Nah, that's.
I don't.
That's like counting Veronica as an RGB 4-star unit. It's
I think it's too slow.
I think it's too slow, but I think a monthly would be ridiculous. There's a tremendous amount of work and effort that goes into making specialty change units. There is a huge financial burden in the sense of man hours and development time to make these units, and they're not monetizable, not really. I think it's a lot of work for no return that we'd be asking Smilegate to do, and I think it would... Remember when we said we wanted more Moonlight Theater, and then they stopped doing all story content so they could focus on that, and it took us 1.5 years to get to Chapter 5? I think it'd be like that. I think we'll see it even...
to get to Chapter 5 with reduced episodes per chapter?
Yeah, I think it would be... I think we would see much fewer 5 stars, and I would rather get new units than rehashed old units.
I'm gonna be real.
I actually looked forward to SCs myself, but yeah, it's fun.
I do. I think quarterly. I think even bi-monthly is a little too fast. I think quarterly. I think we're at semi-annually right now, but I don't know. I'm somewhere in this range.
I see. Yeah, I was gonna say the exact same thoughts on me. I'm somewhere at 14 to 16 weeks, but that's mostly because like SCs come out and they either suck donkey water. I threaded the needle on that one. They suck or they break the game. Like it's either Shepard Jenna, or it's SC Arrowell. The character I have to commentate over every time I look at a match. Like,
yep, literally the best knight in the game, pretty much.
This question amuses me. Do you like new SCs more than new 5 stars? Do you like new SCs more than new 4 stars? I like new 4 stars better because they're MLs, because there are no RGB 4 stars. I don't know. I like new units more than rehashed units.
I'm a little bit of a lore nut, so I actually do enjoy new SCs more than I probably enjoy some.
I would like new SCs.
Depends on which ones, though.
I would like new SCs if they did something with it. Tristan, thank you for letting me use your platform to say this again. The best event in E7 will be the Specialty Change War, where they take the 2 characters that have influenced other characters to have specialty changes the most. They take Chaos Axe God, who he himself got a specialty change. Then you had Common Rose. Then you have Inquisitor, and he fights Trozet, who Trozet has inspired Auden to get a specialty change. He was a part of that. He got Shepard Jenna, obviously, and Commander Lorena. If you have a specialty change war between all the units that have a specialty change, that will be my favorite event ever put in Epic 7. They won't do it, so I'm indifferent. At this point, I'm indifferent. But yeah, actually, to hop off what you said, Red, I would like it more if they did the lore better for specialty change.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like the beach volleyball Alexa thing was kind of weird. Let's be real.
Yeah,
just like
limited SCs are. I don't like limited SCs at all.
limited SCs are awful. Don't do that. Okay, moving
So, what do you
on.
think about SCs being done in bulk, 2 or 3 at a time? I mean, are you kidding me?
Do we want to kill small game plays? Is that what this thing is now? It's just like put them in a coma? No, I'd like them to do a normal amount of work in a normal period.
Yeah.
Think about the guy who has to come up with a skill tree.
Well, yeah, these would be the most watered down generic. It would be like here is 3 different chromas of the same unit, and their kits have 1 stat difference.
I agree.
Awful.
Actually, you know, better yet, let's ask you a real question. Do you want to do all the missions for 3 SCs at the same time?
No, I do not.
Yeah, no.
Okay, there you go.
What unit do you want? I mean, this is a personal question. Everybody can answer that on their own as long as they are answering. Then they're good with me.
You spelled it. I like the French spelling of Eaton, but I got you. You can list 3. Go back. You can list 3. Don't do this.
Currently, if you receive a unit from a ticket coin shop and then receive the unit again, okay, this is about you don't get galaxy coins because you ticketed the unit. You didn't actually pull the unit, and they're saying should ticketing be counted as pull so you can get coin shop when you get your dupe.
What do you think? I'm curious.
Honestly, it would be nice because it feels really bad to use your selector to get a unit and then the very next day you pull it and you feel like you got nothing but a lousy imprint from it. But I am still on this doesn't matter. This affects very few. This affects a very, very, very tragic minority, and it really doesn't affect them that much.
I think it absolutely matters for the people, especially when you get like the random 4 to 5 star ticket on your monthly, right? And then you're like, well, I didn't choose this character, but because I got it through a ticket, I still don't get the coins. That feels kind of.
Oh yeah, I've already had messages in my Discords. Like I literally just selected Lilius and she was in my daily Cov summons. So
bro, I already had her, but I got Conqueror Lilius today. First ML from a Moonlight poll in 2 years. I got Conqueror Lilius today, and I would have cried, if I had gone.
Oh yeah, and if that had happened to me, I would be checking yes here because it would still be very fresh in my mind, and I still wouldn't be okay. But I don't know.
I've actually had it happen. I don't really care personally.
We've both been playing long enough that this has happened to us, both of us for sure. But I got my 3rd Blood Moon haste. Are you kidding me? Yeah, I just don't think it's enough of an issue to be. I would rather them look at half of the questions on this survey or half of the requests on this survey before they even thought about this one. I guess is what it comes down for me.
You know what? Actually, I just want to say this as an answer back to our old Mola question. I know I'm bringing this up. You know how you get more 4 stars in the game? If a 5 star doesn't get used long enough, just make them a 4 star. Just make Blood Moon Haste a 4 star already. Like we're not playing this game, all right?
I think we should have all kinds of more sword options. I think the UI is crap for sword options. I think the hide favorited units should be a click option where you can flip it in multiple directions. Only show favorited units. Don't show any favorited units. Show all units. It should be a 3-way selector on all of these things. I'd like to be able to sort by zodiac signs. These are simple UI changes that don't, to me, seem to be that big of a deal. It's sorting databasing, which, from my limited experience with coding, is not that hard of a thing to do, I wouldn't think, for the unit engine. So I
actually also have some experience, a small amount, but albeit still, it wouldn't be that hard.
Divine?
Yeah, from my perspective, it's less about coding it in and more about UI bloat. Like, where are you going to put it? When are you going to get the images for that? What are they going to look like to communicate the idea of the design? Like, just the other day, I spent 3 hours talking about the different shape sizes and SFX over various bullets. So this is a whole thing, right? If you want to add to the UI, and I must say even more so, Epic 7's UI design is already pretty freaking bloated. Like, we're about to get to more questions on that, and that's my only problem, is that we're doing this for zodiac signs, and I don't know zodiac signs, And I made a joke before I'm not going to repeat, but I'd also assume maybe not all of Epic 7 understands and knows zodiac signs.
No, I mean, the entire reason for this is they say, hey, the next unit that's coming out is a 5-star Leo thief. You can sort by Leo thieves and see what unit you can put gear on to see what kind of stats you can build. See, it's just a lazy tool, so you don't have to go off site to look up who other Leo thieves are. I don't think it'd be used for any other thing. And even though I would like to see it, it's even further down. It's probably near the bottom of the list of things that are important to me.
It's not very huge because, like you said, like the only time I would use it is when like a new unit comes out and I'm watching their thing and I'm like, oh. Yeah. Despite the fact that I've memorized most of them, it's like, who's an Aries Knight? Because Brig just came out. I'm like, oh, Lilius. So like it just that kind of thing.
Yeah, I mean, I would rather see other UI changes like check boxes going up and down instead of one or the off and on because this is adding a new checkbox on an already bloated UI.
Yeah, that's really.
Oh my God! Please, how much? I'm just going to go through this real quick because this is, again, opinion related. I think Brenus is ugly. I think Fox Girls are printing money. Artena, I just love the redheads. New RGB heroes, hell no. Adult Penelope, duh. Mage Luna, I'm going to get some comments, but I think any any ML of a limited unit is anathema, bad for the game, and terrible. I mean, if anybody wants to argue with me on this, look me in the face and tell me ML Landy is good for this game. Veer human form, heck yeah.
Human form, absolutely.
Absa-heckin-lutely, and other
units you'd want list below you. Yeah.
I know, it's just funny that I can vote I really want them or I don't want them on the units I list below.
We really want the others.
Here's another unit I don't want, yeah.
The hero you would like to release that isn't listed below.
Yeah. I love Luna, but I don't want another ML limited, dude. I'm so over it.
There we go. I got it.
I like that decision, bro.
Okay. Do you think that older 5-star heroes need their S3 animation updated? No. I don't want them to use I don't want them to use development time on things other than new things.
I think they're already doing this.
Well, yeah.
I don't think the animation needs to be updated. I just think they need to have something other than a freaking white background. That's really it. Just don't let them have a blank black background.
Yeah, but it's all hand drawn. It'd have to go in and redraw everything, I think. Honestly.
Not necessarily.
I don't know. If this is really important to you, you vote yes, but
they do this already though with the RTA.
They do it already. They do it already. How do you feel about the Spirit Bloom update? I like it.
Oh, amazing.
As much, yeah, it's better in every single way except that dogs are cooler than flowers. And I miss the phantasms.
I like how it's in the canon where if you get a Spirit Bloom mission, Rand's just like, all right, you guys go and collect some flowers. I'm gonna go hunt some dogs or whatever. The dogs escape. Who let the dogs out? I don't know. I'm out.
So we spent all that time on one page, so we really got to speed this up a little bit.
We've agreed on this so many times. Yes.
Yeah. Yes. You need to be able to save gear to a character so you can re-gear the character.
Well, I think you save gear to a preset slot, not to a character. And then you put that, because I think the question's worded a bit weirdly, but like, I want gear loadouts, yes, but I want them to be like, hey, here's my lifesteal pen set A, right? And then like I could order them by how good they are, and then
I want to be able to click a button that says save this gear loadout, and boom, it inks it to the character, and then I can ungear the character to go do the special weird Advent, Abyss, Hall of Trials craziness they make me do, and then I can come back and push one button and pay my 600k gold, and boom, all the gear moves back where it was before. So I don't have to screenshot every single one of my things every time I want to make changes.
Yeah. Well, we're agreed. Yeah, this is overdue for a massive quality of life. Yeah.
It's been 5 years, Smilegate. Most games bang this out within the first 2. Yes, I hate sliders. And they should
so
just
bad. I don't know why.
Hold on. I hate sliders too, but keep the slider and put a +10. Keep the slider for gear dust, because ain't nobody wanna do the slider for gear when you got like 1,000 plus gear dust. Nobody wants to sit
Nah.
there clicking that stuff. Nah.
Nah, you just click auto, bro.
Yeah,
Remove
just
the link
autofill.
slider.
Fair enough. I've never been a big fan of auto, but that's me.
Do you think excess EXP on rolling gear should be converted and stored? Yes, especially if you're forcing us to use an auto button instead of putting one things at a time. Then obviously, and dust it, don't charm it. Be reasonable.
It's
Be reasonable. How do you feel about the equipment dust update?
I think
it's nice.
good.
I like it. I think everybody's.
I feel the system needs
people saying this. I think are referencing the things above.
Yes. I feel like the system could just use a simple +10 button. That's really it.
No, I don't think we have anything, right?
You don't have to put anything here.
Should auto enhance prioritize dust before charms? Who cares? I mean, is it really any different?
I guess it should. I mean, like, I guess.
I mean, are you worried that it's like, oh, I'm plus 13 and it's going to use my red charm, which may overcap me? I would rather manually pick that. I mean, can't.
I think the next question is the only thing that matters here. I think it doesn't matter. But this
should there be an option to auto enhance, not use universal or epic charms? Could there be an option for auto enhance to? Oh, so you can check which kind of charms you want it to use.
Yeah, that's I think the one that matters here. Deselect like universal, yes to both. It's either one.
Yeah, I'm cool with it. Again, I like this because this is a quality of life change that doesn't impact the UI, would cost them minimal amounts of money, and isn't going to make them feel like, well, now they're taking money away from us. I think this is something that's would be great for the community and something that they could implement.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
How often do you think Artena crafting events should happen? Monthly. Every month we should get a best in slot gear.
No.
Good lord.
No, quarterly probably.
I'm even fine with yearly, but quarterly, sure.
I think quarterly's fine.
My big problem is that like we went like 6 months without it or something, right? Like it was a long stretch before this current one.
Well, we had the apology one where they gave us like 4 of them back to back or something crazy. So yeah. Then there was a long stretch because, good lord, we hit them hard.
Yeah.
You think mod gems need a quality of life and how they function? Yes.
Yes. It should always increase. I think we can agree on that.
Either that or some form of a pity. If they really want to continue. I mean, this is kind of a meeting in the middle of what we've got and what we really want.
I mean, we all have horror stories. I've spent like 8 mod gems on one speed roll, and it literally never got 4.
Yeah, mod gems are so rare for me that I don't feel too strong about this question. But I can't see myself getting to a point where I feel exactly the same way you guys do about them. So, yeah.
Which brings us to that. I mean, I don't think we acquire mod gems at a significant rate. The only place you get them is from doing expeditions, and nobody wants to stare at it. I mean, unless they let us background battle expeditions, then this would be fine, but nobody wants to stare at expeditions instead of doing RTA, instead of doing side stories, instead of, doing guild wars, doing fun things in Epic 7, regearing your units. Nobody wants to just stare at expeditions as a way to farm random mod gems so that you can exchange them and buy them.
Just better ways to use your energy. It's once you're done and you're not getting rewards, there's better things to use your energy on, so we just don't get enough mod gems. It's like you have gold farm, you have wyvern, or not wyvern, hunts.
I don't know about you, but I think the cube cost to craft mod gems is insanely high.
Oh, it's absolutely.
Oh yeah, everyone here agrees. Yeah, that's an instant. Okay. We're done.
You feel the cube cost to create? How do you feel?
Absolutely, it's insane. Because my problem is that they increased. Yeah, for charms, it's insane. It's hard to keep up with it. It's only getting worse now because you want to sell gear, so you don't always want to extract it, and then you're using like you're asking players to like throw away like either their hit sets because they don't want it, but then like if you run out of hit sets, it constantly keeps you feel like you have to be fed and hooked and chained onto hunting, right? And I think you should be doing hunting regularly, right? But like, it feels bad for me honestly to be putting resources into hunt outside of a hunt buff, and usually I'm using that time to clear the backlog of PvE content that exists in Epic 7 and is only getting worse by the day, right? I got to go back and do every side story. I got to go do all the Abyss floors. I got to go do this. I got to go do that. And I'm spending my resources and my time and all this stuff. I don't have time to keep up with dumping it all into constantly re-gearing my hunts and keeping them up to date just to throw cube charms in. I'm sorry, that's my hill to die on. It's way too high, and it's a problem I only see getting worse over time, especially with the recent changes.
So charms are too low then?
120. What the hell?
I was honestly kind of okay with it here, but I also spend a ton on hunts. So
was it 125 per? And how many do we get per
piece?
For
the right side and 100 for the left sides? Yeah.
Yeah. How we get per piece? Like 10?
10. You get 10 on an epic. 10 on an epic.
This is pretty high, isn't it, when you look at it that way?
Yeah. It's very high.
Stat reroll gems, spicy. Should more of those be added?
Wait, just mod gems?
Stat reroll gems?
Do you think he means about the gear reset? The gear reset
yeah,
gems?
I can't tell if it means
I'm pretty
gear
sure.
Reset or...
Because look at the next question. I'm pretty sure it means next. Yeah.
Yeah, I think this is about the gear reset. Like the all stat reroll, not mod gems.
Yeah,
but
you could even go look at, because the third question's on 88 gear, so this is definitely gear reset gems.
Yeah,
I don't think we need it. We're getting quite a bit of them, actually.
Yeah, I think we're getting plenty.
Yeah, we've gotten.
How do you feel about them being sold in the cash shop? I'm fine.
Yeah,
I mean,
I don't
it's
care.
A natural. I call this as an inevitability, right?
It's inevitable. Yeah.
I say yes, but very limited. I think it's okay for anniversary packs and all that stuff.
I mean, they're already in there in a limited sense.
I don't want them being like. I don't want them to be like tacked on to. The worst thing for me is like it gets tacked on to equipment packs, and I'm like, well, now I feel even worse, and now everyone's getting even further ahead. You know.
I don't think they'll give it to equipment packs. Equipment packs are already stacked for their value.
So I'm biased on this one, guys, because I've been looking for over a year now, and to date, I've found nobody who has a worse World Cup ring than I do. So I'm going to be greedy on this one and say yes. Let me fix my minimum gear score World Cup
I don't
ring.
know why I don't know why you can't. But that being said, I was like, it could discourage you from farming some like nightmare instead, just like resetting the other nightmare over and over again. I guess. Nah, I don't even think that works. There's no reason.
It won't Smilegate. Let me fix my ring.
There's no reason not to, and I think it would make AI feel a lot better. Like we did that. A lot of people got great things, and then you almost don't even want to post your piece if it's like 95 or more. Yeah, like it just feels
my
bad.
neck rolled like rolled like you know what I'm about to say,
like cheese whiz. Yeah. Rolled like cheese whiz.
Yeah. It rolled so bad.
Tristan, put your answer. We all know what you want to say.
I'm going to say this one. Should Unity be buffed? No. Should Unity be buffed? No. But only if innate's lowered. Fine. Only if this goes away.
Yeah.
I wish there was a no. It shouldn't be buffed and remove the innate.
Get all of it out. I hate all of it.
I will give my PvP perspective on this one. No.
Immunity needs revamped.
No. Dude, immunity set is is very strong actually.
Very strong. Yeah.
Yeah. It's actually way stronger than people would think.
Oh, who doesn't check yes to this one?
EU's currently count towards your gear storage limit. Should this restriction? Yes.
Nah, fam.
Yes.
I'm gonna die.
No, I'm just kidding. I'm
not gonna die.
I don't get why. I don't understand why.
When I found out it did, I was just like, but why though?
Yeah.
But why though? like that's like one of those things where it's just like you had to make it this way. So why did you make it this way?
Oh
it's
my
like,
god!
It's like if I got you a brand new car, Red, and I said, "Ooh," and I expanded the driver's seat so you could put a bull in there, and you're like, "But why would I do that? Why?"
Bro, this next one is just like, how many of you guys actually have powder to afford another bottle?
People are going to check this one, and all they're going to do is they're going to give free bottles to whales because they're the only ones that buy powder packs.
Yeah, like it's literally
earn additional bottles per month. That's a bit extreme, but
bottles are. I don't know about you. I'm not a free
Tristan,
to play
be careful
player.
about that.
I
About the next question, by the way.
I mean, I literally bought 2 packs that were worth $100 just because they had bottles in them.
Yep.
Yeah,
It's a
don't make
huge,
people wail.
bro.
forgive the pun. It's a huge bottleneck for me, but I would like to see more viable and more earnable bottles.
Yeah, I mean, you get like, say, what's the
bottles
period?
are very, very.
How much
very
do you get a
much.
year? Like 6 to 12, I think, or something.
I mean, you get
It's
one.
not
per
once
month.
a month.
No, not even.
It's not
You get
once a
one.
month.
You
I
get
think it's
one bottle every 45 days from the powder shop.
Oh, is
so
it
it's every
45
month and a half.
days?
It's
Yep.
every month and a half. Yeah, that's
Oh,
what I
45.
think. It's
Yep.
even 50
Okay.
days. So like
Something like that.
7 a year, I think. On the math,
I always thought it was once a month for some reason. Oh,
We're
wait,
we're
that's
getting
Galaxy
more
Point
and
Shop.
more extreme monetized artifacts, more and more artifacts that they just don't work right if they're not plus 30 or at least plus 27. And I mean, who here doesn't have a Benny Mars Tachi that needs a bottle or 3?
I just bottled it 4 times.
I don't, but that's because I bottled it. Yeah. Oh, Tristan, be careful. They're squares now. The circles are squares.
Which of these options regarding limited artifacts should be implemented? Where's the one that says no off banners? There. Done.
Yeah, dude.
Easy.
No, wait, Tristan, you could choose multiple. You could choose multiple.
The only one
You
that
only
needs.
choose one.
That's
You
the
can
only
choose
one
one.
that needs chosen.
Okay, gotcha.
And anything else will have them impact the drop
You sure
rate.
you don't want to include an artifact pity counter on limited banners?
Yeah. We have an artifact pity counter. It's called the Powder Shop. I know it's not going to get me a lot. That's
pity. I could see them doing an artifact pity. I don't mind that, but yeah, it's up to you. It's like kind of an opinion thing, right?
yeah. I mean, this one's mine. You guys check all this shit if you want. I'm just I'm trying.
Bro, I'm
to,
not checking. Okay, I think that people like if you're checking off all of these, I think you're asking for too much. I really do. You got to be.
I'm checking off.
You don't want the developers to take one look at your survey and say, "Freaking greedy community. Why do we even bother asking?"
I think you know what? Actually, I've got an answer that I think circumvents this. I think you should remove off-banner artifacts on custom banners. Can you get an off-banner on a custom banner? Because if you can, that's crazy.
You sure as heck can.
Remove that. Remove that. That's the one where I'm like, listen.
I have gotten a lot of them.
Imagine if you went to a fish and chip store, right? You're like, give me fish, give me a plate of chips, and give me a corn dog on the side, and they just surprised you with some random shit. Like, I don't know why.
I kind of like this one, right? Where you get to pity and you can pick the artifact or the unit, but at the same time, that's a serious kick to the monetization because chances are you will get one or the other by the time you get pity, and you're not going to be driven to choose beyond it.
Listen,
I have stories of all of these banners. I've spent 24K Skystones on one artifact. I
was there when Carr spent like $700 chasing drink. I remember.
Yeah.
Listen, I'm gonna be
spent
real.
Even more.
Yeah.
I blew out the shop. I rolled and rolled and rolled so I could have 4 prayers of solitude. Would I have liked that to be easier? Yes. But
the last time when we asked them to implement unit pity, the rates took it in the keister. If we ask them to implement artifact pity, they'll probably remove artifacts from the powder shop. They'll find some way to penalize us for
it's like making a deal with the devil, right?
It's the law of equivalent exchange. It really is. With anything that impacts
something to be given, something of equal or greater value must be returned in exchange. That is the law of Epic 7.
Whenever you're talking about something where anybody says you're whaling with regards to the system, the law of equivalent exchange applies. So you've really got to ask yourself, is this so important that I'm willing to take an equal hit somewhere else? And for me, it's not.
I would love an artifact pity, but like at this point, it's not. I don't think it's gonna happen. Actually,
this flat stat question feels like it feels like if you said this at a party, you could start a fight.
Yeah. I'm remarkably okay with it, but.
I don't like flat stats as main stats on right side, but I still think that's also asking for a lot too. But there's also I'll give you like there's flat stat flat HP plus max or penta HP roll is actually best in slot on quite a few units, believe it or not.
Yeah, as bad as HP is the worst stat, but you get a penta HP piece, that's a keeper.
Yeah.
All 30
And
gear
also-
score of it. You use it everywhere.
And also flat stats in general, like on like actual pieces, like we all know Rylot.
With the exception of main stat, they aren't bad.
Yeah, with Thieves, like flat defense is really, really good. It's just as good as getting a defensive roll.
I'm gonna be real with
imagine we select this one and they remove speed from speed boots. Because it's flat.
The law of equivalent exchange.
Okay, all the flat stats are gone, including speed boots.
All of our Rands became 270 speed. Unfortunate.
Boom.
Unfortunate. I was gonna simply say, like, from a developer perspective, this is impossible. Because what do you do with flat stats on existing equipment, right? If you change it, then you get a million players who are like, "Hey, I needed that. I needed that on my my Enot. My Enot was critical to having flat attack 5 times on him. I hate you. Like, there's just no way.
Sounds like something I would spend to try to get a reward out of it.
Well, and what do you do with your flat attack piece that's got all % subs on it? What are you changing that flat attack main to? I mean, Divine's right. It's unless you're going to have legacy pieces that can't be pulled anymore, and it sucks that you're stuck with these.
That's another nightmare. Yep. Like think about a piece where you have attack % on it and flat attack on it, and it rolled 5 times in the flat attack, right? And now this unit has giga attack, and you're telling new players this person has access to gear that you'll never be able to get.
Yep. All right.
I think this one's misunderstood. I think this one's misunderstood because when you overcap an artifact, the XP rolls over. You'll get to plus 21, but you'll see the experience bar is halfway to 22 because you got a great success on that last roll. So the XP is not lost. The only time that this would have an impact would be when you plus 30 something.
The idea of, once again, I'm talking from my perspective, the idea of how do you even equate breaking
Oh, you know what? I misread this.
I think you're misreading this.
Yeah. Sorry. I was thinking about overcapping, upgrading it. They're talking about duping, giving powder.
Like how imprints give purple flowers. They're saying it should give powder of knowledge.
I don't know what you would do to equate that. Like you'd be like, okay, you limit broke this artifact up to here.
Yeah.
Here's 40 power of knowledge, or like even.
I'm gonna say a hard no on this one because spirit blooms can only be used to level units. Powder can be used to acquire brand spanking new artifacts that you'd never had before. Very different.
I think I agree with that. I think
very different.
If you did put it in, it'd be so negligible you wouldn't even care. That's all it is.
How do you feel about the gear score UI added? I mean, I wish it was like what everybody in the community was already familiar with, but we're all starting to get used to it, and I think another 6 months from now, we're all going to forget the original one and just be using the new one.
Yeah, it's just minus 25 for the Fribbles one, right?
Yeah,
so it's 20,
it's
20, 26 or
it's 24 to 26 depending on flats and I would like this. I would like to see what absolutely. It will reforge to. That's crazy it's not in there. PvP. Do you think RTA needs daily, weekly, seasonal rewards aside from skin points?
What kind of rewards? This is a long way down.
This harkens back to the whole do 3 RTA matches for 100 stamina thing, and you just if you logged in early enough, you got 3 yields. Yeah, people didn't like it. They felt forced to play it.
In the idea of game design, you have different types of players, right? That's the whole thing, and some of the largest like divisions of players is like socializers, explorers, achievers, and killers, right? So killers are people who obviously are focused on PvP. They wanna do shit where they can kill people. Oh no, I said the S word. God damn it. They wanna that I didn't get. Just fall into the hole, right? But killers are people who want to do PvP. Obviously, socializers would be people who like guild content. You know, if you're trying to get the highest score for your guild using the great achievement feature in the game to like prop up your guild and have it featured on the leaderboard for all the great things you're. Okay, jokes aside, yeah. If you're trying to do that stuff, explorers are people who want to see what the world has to offer. Those people are dead. The closest thing would probably be people who care about the game story, and those people are dead. And then achievers are people who are
I
like,
care.
we care, Red, but we're a dying breed. And then achievers are obviously people who would be like, I'm watching Tristen Wolf's video because I want to be triple S every week in Hall of Trials, and I want to do this Dagger Sakar thing, like all that stuff, right? For Epic 7, you might add something like a collector, but those are the types of players naturally in a game you would aim to hit. And the problem always is that if you're aiming to give something to one of these types of players, another community might feel left out. And from what I understand, a lot of people who don't want to ever touch RTA, which I understand there's a lot of reasons why people don't want to do so, they feel like they would be driven to do so if something even as simple as 50 energy were to be put in, because then you're being inefficient by avoiding it. Listen,
I don't think RTA needs additional rewards. I think less than 20% of the community does RTA. I do think we need a shop.
Wait, doesn't that additional rewards?
Rewards for rewards are.
Oh, it's participation rewards versus an RTA shop.
Yeah,
I think somebody said
would
it
like
before.
a shop, but
I think somebody said it before, where like when you hit masters, you suddenly don't get the like 2,000 glory crests that the silver and bronze get. I think those should be thrown into masters and above.
Daily, weekly rewards. Is dailies. You do so many fights a day, you get stamina, or you do so many fights a week, you get stamina rewards. And everybody, as nice as we thought that free stamina was, everybody heckin' hated it because they felt. I mean, I enjoy RTA, but I didn't enjoy feeling like I was forced to do it every heckin' day.
For me, though, it was like I saw just people go in and quit out
and yield.
Like, I mean,
go in and yield.
I mean, like,
it artificially inflated the numbers of people playing RTA. I didn't like it. It was bad.
But then, isn't there a bit of a conflict of interest where, like, say you only want to play you get to the rank you're happy with, and you only want to play every 3 days to maintain it, right? But now you also got to play every day and yield possibly to get that reward. It creates like a weird situation, right?
Yeah. In an RTA shop, I'm big on that. The RTA shop should just be cosmetics, temporary cosmetics, even. You know, but
more layers. Because you only get more layers if you.
If we get more profile card layers, if we play.
I mean, how should points be earned? I don't care. I don't care. Length of match is stupid. Set amount per match per rank, sure.
Cleavers get nothing. You care about length of match because you're a cleaver, buddy, huh?
How many points should you be able to? If RTA shops add, how many points should cap daily based on rank? Sure, right? I don't care. Just as long as there's something. Come up with something. If it sucks, change it. But put something in.
I put it different for Moses. I'll be honest with you.
How do you think ranks above gold should gain, or do you think ranks above gold should gain the conquest? That's always bugged me. Here's your skin, but everybody else gets conquest points.
We're just talking about it. Yeah, absolutely.
You think RTA season needs 3 pre-bans? Of course.
No, I think you need. No. It needs 4.
When do you think
we have so many?
Do you think the current additional pre-ban should be implemented? Everybody. It's stupid that you have to get to masters before you can actually play without having to eat crap from the death units.
You know what? I should say this. I'll actually go back up one for 1 second. Let me say my crazy thing real quick. I think you should have more pre-bans depending on how many units you don't have. Like if you just started this game, you need protection, my guy. If you're trying to get RTA that first season, you need help. You need all the help you can get.
Honestly, I think you need 2. I think 2 pre-bans is fine, but we need a mid-set ban as well as an end-set ban.
I agree.
Kind of like what League does.
Yeah.
When units are displayed for RTA, should you be out? No, clutters up the UI. There's no reason for it. Seeing what artifacts are on your units, so you can go, I'll pick this one. It's a neat idea, and it might be a little bit helpful, but I don't know. Just
there's only for your units.
Only for your units, so you can go.
Bro,
so you're not sitting there like, did I put Daydream Joker on this unit, or is it back on Elbrus?
No, I'm gonna be honest. Like as someone who plays PvP, like stream it. Like literally, I know what everything is on. If you
Car
don't know,
six-
if you're not checking before you go, you're crazy. And it's just it's like
Hey, Red, tell me, do you think Car 6 suggested this one after his mate was missing an artifact?
Absolutely.
Oh, future Tristen, play the clip. Future Tristen, get the clip.
Do you think
Play
there
right
should
there.
be global bans?
I think that there should be a stat-based weekly global bans, like Counterside.
Yes.
Counter
No.
side does,
No. Nothing
Player
player
voted?
voted.
Let me
God,
tell you.
never let the players
Let me
choose
tell
the
you,
direction of the
man.
game.
I have seen some very, very bad takes.
It takes.
Weekly is better. Monthly is too long because you want
Listen.
to be able to cycle stuff
No,
out.
no. You got to think about it like this, Red. You ever get into that match where you're like,
I
who
love
hurt
this.
you, right? Where somebody bans Enoch first, and you're like, who hurt you?
Yeah.
Like, what happened in your last match?
I love this right here. Don't like what Landy's doing to the meta. Wait a week. Don't like what Apokravi's doing to the meta. Wait a week.
I would
Keep
say
people on their
monthly,
toes.
I think
I like
weekly's a little bit too often.
I think monthly might be better because last days in particular, I don't want like last week and the week before that to shift too hard because
This
people are
season-
What
gonna
if
go
last
crazy.
week all frenzy effects go away for the last week?
That's its own nightmare.
Just change meta like entirely.
Do you feel about separate RTA and game modes? I mean, yeah. But SG's already doing that. They've already said they're working on draft mode, attorney mode for draft mode. They came out with draft mode. I mean,
Am I forever gonna
additional
be, like,
ways to play the
jaded
game? Sure.
and not
Just
expect
hit,
things to
just
come
hit
out?
yes and let's move on. Let's hit yes and move on.
Would you like a lobby warning notification to indicate your... I mean, I decayed because I wasn't paying attention because it was the holiday, but I still don't care. It's more crap. It's more UI
It
crap.
does. It already
for a
gives you
bloated
one
UI.
in the screen. If you
It
don't
gives you
go
one
into
in
the
the screen.
screen, like it's
Yep.
like
Be on the main menu. I don't want to deal with this stuff.
Ever since Divine said E7's UI is already bloated, I every time I see something like this, I think about that.
Well, let me put it like this, right? The game wants to notify me that a pack is going away, but doesn't want to tell me an hour is away from me decaying. Nah, screw that. You can
You know
fit that
what?
in.
Yeah. You know
I
what?
love, I
Bottom
love,
left in a little bit
I
of
love
text.
the pop-up shop, dude. It's just like I was just like had stigma on a unit or was doing a 3-star unit, and then all of a sudden it was like, "Hello, sir,
know,
I
there's-
heard you're
there's
looking for
one right-
stigma."
There's one
It's like
right
a
now where
pop-up
it's just
stigma shop.
There's one right now where it's just like, hey, bro, there's like 25 days left for you to pick your own gear. I'm like, bro, I know. I already finished the thing. I just don't know what the hell I want to pick because I'm too busy getting my ass smashed every 3 seconds by ML Landy. So
Oh,
I
you
don't
know what?
There's no
Come-
answer.
Combine them, right? A pop-up warning jumps up and says, "Hey, your RTA rank's about to decay. Maybe buy a Mystic pack."
Maybe by
Loser.
perfect. All right. Yes, we
hell
already
yeah,
talked about
yeah,
this. We
yeah.
already
That's
talked about
just
this.
what we just
Sorry, we already
said.
talked about this,
What we
yeah.
just said.
I think that would be awesome. I think it would bring such a good dynamic to.
Should
RTA.
Mystics reset B/W guild between? I guess
Okay, yeah, between.
Yeah, no,
they're saying
no.
Yeah.
it should reset at the start of the season, not at the start of preseason.
No. You're saying you would
No,
say yes.
they're saying
right?
if you're ×5, you should be ×5 till you get knocked down.
You're saying you want
I'm
us
like,
to lose Mystics. I think
Hey, thinkage, yeah.
it should be removed. Mystic reset should be removed. So should we should say ×5. That's what you were saying. You were literally saying like
Don't get tricked, guys.
Good trick. That's what they're.
If a player joins
even-
Ancient Inheritance late, the guild has already been open, and they're unable to achieve rewards. No. Otherwise, people will guild hop, people will guild mooch. They'll not do Ancient Inheritance, and then they'll beg to like, hey, can I jump into your guild for 5 seconds, get the reward, and then leave? And people will just cycle people through. No, there's a reason so that people can't guild hop for rewards or leach. I don't like it.
You hit it on the nail. Although poor money man, but you hit it on the nail. With that.
Yeah, I feel bad for the people that got hosed, but it's like that for a reason. Heck yes. I mean, really? I mean, is there any reason to say no? It's not a UI change.
really.
The UI is already up. It's just
I
only up one
I
day.
wouldn't
a
really
reason
look
to
at
say
it
no,
for
and
you
that's-
guys,
you're the
but absolutely.
Should Guild Wars be revamped?
Actually, wait. Hold
Yeah.
on. Actually, wait. Go back up one. I still think yes, but if you're gonna do that, you should be able to re-roll some missions at least once, because sometimes there is a mission where it's just like, bro, I don't even have a reason to go in the Spirit Altar this week. Like. So that's all
Yeah.
I'll say. But yeah.
Guild Wars be revamped. I mean, I think everybody thinks it should be changed.
I think
Either
I don't know how it would happen though. I really don't.
I don't
know.
either, but they haven't done anything with
That's
Guild
their-
Wars.
Yeah, that's
like,
their
in
job.
forever.
We also haven't gotten an artifact in
I-
over a year.
How do
would
you
actually
feel
like
about the
a-
rewards in Guild Wars? I'm fine with the rewards. Oh wait, guilds, but remove mystery reset would make them adequate.
Man, they just like throwing stuff in, bro.
And I don't know.
Like,
I'm kind of okay with it.
Can I
either
have
way.
the rewards are adequate, but removing mystery set would make them even more adequate?
Yeah, make them even more adequate.
Adequate. What is the most
How much
adequatest
fun
of
do you
the
have in
phone?
Guild Wars? I enjoy the crap out of Guild Wars, to be honest
Bro,
with you.
That is a
that's
cat,
a
bro.
straight 0 from me, bro.
Yeah, everybody's
man,
different
I'm
about
tired
it.
of this.
No, but because
How
How
my
do you
thing
feel
is,
about
like,
custom?
I have a job, and I have a job. I don't have Dark Corvus, right? So that just makes this shit take 30 minutes longer than I feel like everyone else,
Just
right?
do what I do and cleave it. All right, moving
I
on.
don't have the cleave set up either. I'm trying to move into control because I want to I want to hurt people emotionally, and like I don't know.
Whoa,
bro. It just
no, dude.
People gonna hate on me
People-
for this one, but do we really want 2 Symbol of Unities rolling around?
Dude,
do we
this
really
is what I'm
want?
saying. People don't understand, man. Symbol of Unity is so OP, and giving people 2 of them is kind of crazy.
Right.
And also, like, they don't stack, so like, how
Not to
does that
mention
work?
Bastion.
Like, so like, I just get to choose. Like, it's like my LPK is on it. If
I
I
don't
had
know.
my Zahak on it too, it's also a free like 276 attack like artifact. It's kind of crazy.
And
see why you need
again, it's just adding more of what we already have. I would much rather new artifacts than just dupes
Yeah.
of old ones.
Yeah, I want new
Speaking of
ones.
which,
Okay.
Yep.
Yeah, sure.
Yes, I'd like
Why-
new guild shop
why the heck not?
artifacts.
How do you feel about command armband income? It's completely fine. The only people that
Nope.
don't have command armbands aren't playing the damn game.
nope. I
Well,
actually gotta disagree
here
with
it
you on
comes.
this one.
Here it comes.
If you are in a not as active as some other guilds, it is pretty bad. I've noticed the change myself. Like getting hitting the 80 armbands thing a week completely changed my perspective on this.
I will
'Cause
say he does make a good point.
Yeah, like before, for like if you were in a guild that was struggling, like I did everything every day. I even grinded. It was hard to get that income.
So is that an issue with the command armband income, or is that an issue with the difficulty of the weekly mission progress, which I do agree is too damn difficult?
It would be both, I guess. At least in my mind, but yeah.
Okay. I mean, this one's mine. You answer yours the way you feel. Do you want
Yes.
the great achievement update?
I don't know what it is, but yes.
Yeah, I would like
I want
I would
more
like
things.
new things to be added to the game at all times. Yes,
That's
duh.
literally. Do you want your dad to come back? Do you want your dad that's been gone for 3 years to finally come back? Yes, I'd like this content that's been promised for 3 years to come.
Oh,
I'd like them to fulfill their promises.
heck to the capital, yes.
No,
Yes. No, for
It's
Guild
fine,
Wars.
though.
For Guild Wars.
No. You suck it. That's I'm in my old guild. That's how I'm sure we won half the time. No, I'm joking.
The only thing that would bother me on this is
How would it know?
if they said, why don't we go ahead, since we add to Guild Wars, why don't we go ahead and add it to RTA, which would be horrible.
Dude, my thing is, can you save scum in Guild War with this?
No, you gotta disconnect and wait till like your smarter guild member joins, where you're like, all right, what are we looking at? How'd you screw the pooch this time, buddy?
Yeah, dude, I was like, can you save scum with this? Like you do it on RPG? Like you're just like, you wait. Okay, like hear me out. Like you're sitting here and Landy counters and then she hits your right. Like, can you do in the middle, close out the
It's
game,
not
and then come back and then he wasn't hit?
Yeah.
It's not even that. It's dead ass, but it's dead ass. Should you be able to reset getting a 3% dual attack with the Lionheart?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's
you're
what I'm
like,
saying.
that's a good
why?
point. That's a real good
I was
point.
like, you can literally save scum because it's client side.
Yeah, it is client side, so there's yeah. Okay, good point. Auto battle settings carry over between fights and Age and Hera. Frick yeah. Who who likes going into AI and boom, everything's already auto fighting?
Yeah, I don't know.
Would you like a replay option added? Yeah, because this takes up almost
Dude,
no
I need-
space whatsoever.
Dude, I need to see how someone loses to my
Right?
defense.
Like, you
sometimes.
gotta show me
need
how
to
you
see
lost
this.
that.
Like,
Instead of us having to do a haiku apology, it's just
it's
a
just a
goddamn
watch
lose. It's just a watch party. You just get to turn into a watch party. It's like, all right, everybody, submit your jankest loss.
dude,
And we'll
think
yeah,
this
judge
is
as a
a-
content creator, it is free content. It's like literally the
free
freest content
Or
ever.
you're just gonna sit there and judge like it's not your fault, bro. It's like,
Yeah,
nah, why the fuck were you bringing Doris in?
So this
yeah, for this.
yeah, I mean everybody wants that's no
Dude,
brainer.
dude, Tristan, I know
this
you
is
and I
too-
are the walk of shame when you lose.
Oh, hate the walk of shame.
The walk of shame when you lose against the boss. You got to walk all the way back, bro.
The way
Yes,
back.
That's not a
teleport
walk of
every
shame.
time.
That's a walk of get a goddamn snack started.
It just
Put
wastes
some
your
in the
time.
oven.
All this is just the developers wasting your time. It's not it's not hard to do. It's not challenging or compelling content. It's just annoying that they've elected to waste your time because of RNG, and nobody likes it. This is too good. Giving out selector chests. That's
I think they could make a reward, like an extra tier of rewards, though.
I mean, people that ask these kind of questions ask things like, you know,
like,
should they add an ML selector every quarter?
It's like you want too much.
Yeah.
Hey, you know what? I'll meet in the middle and say it should give you main stat gems. How about that? Should we give you main stat and speed gems? None of the blue gems or
White
none of the blue
ones,
gems
yeah.
except for speed.
How do you feel in regards to normal expedition reward tracks?
I like the rewards. I think.
Oh, okay. They're talking about the board.
Normal, yeah.
Versus the paying the 1,500 to get the
good.
enhanced board. I think they're fine. I think
Yeah,
I think they're a little too good, but I think they're fine. It's as much stuff, if not more stuff, than you get from a what's that event pack? That thing.
Talk about the battle pass.
Yeah.
We're about to talk about that, so
Yeah.
How do you feel about the Skystone version? I
think it's the most. I think it's the most unsatisfying good value buy ever. You guys know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's really, really good, but it never feels worth it. It's kind of weird.
Yeah. I mean, it's one of those things where it's like, I guess I got to do arena because I need to afford this.
I think they're a little bit too good, but yeah.
Should you be able to do more with the No. There's already too damn much to do with silver transmit stones.
Dude, I spend like 100 a week at this point, so like it's fine.
Notice my number continually going down, albeit I'm still in the 4 digits. It's continuing to go down.
Yeah.
Not this week with all the 3 stars we're getting.
Who doesn't? I
don't understand why we can't.
Who plays a card game style collector game with gotchas and units and is okay with not being able to complete an aspect of the game?
I never knew why we couldn't. It just made no sense.
Because screw you.
No. Do not do anything with pets. Every time Smilegate touches the pet system, it's a crazy disaster. This most recent time, they somehow managed to touch pets and did good things with them, and I'm scared to death that they'll touch it again and undo it.
I think streamline the whole system. I think tear it down in God's honesty, and just make something that just says, "Give me gold, get a skill, put it on a pet."
I will say,
"Give me gold, level it up, we're done."
I will say, in my opinion, on the pet thing, I'm getting my pet from 4 to 5 star right now. It takes, like, outside of spending gold, it takes 200 days because it's 200 of the currency to 100% guarantee it. I wish it was a little less, but that's just it for me.
I've been playing for 3 years, and there's skills I still don't have. And here's my thing, right? My problem is that not even that I don't have the skill; it's that they're tied to how many times you can repeat battle. So so for my PvE pet for grinding stage 30 of whatchamacallit, unrecorded history, I can only do 15 battles. Unless I want to level up the pet with like bullshit skills in the meantime, but that's going to cause a headache down the road. No, just make it easy. Just make it all easy, please. Fundamentally, I think pets are the least fun system in all of Epic 7, hands down.
Because you don't have mac and cheese. Moving on.
You're right.
Correct me if I'm wrong on this, but even the skin pack is one of the few weaponized, monetized packs where you can buy 1.5 skins or 1 1/4. Like, you have to buy like half a dozen packs to even out on the skin. You always wind up with leftover skin tickets that aren't quite enough to get the next skin, urging you to buy another pack so you can have still a little bit more than you need and not enough for the next one. So I've always kind of not liked the skin ticket system.
Skin tickets are... No, go ahead. You're more handsome.
Okay. I saying, I don't even think I've ever bought a skin and I only have like 70.
I've been playing for 4.5 years, almost 5 years, and I've only ever bought one skin.
Yeah.
Here's the weird thing, right? Skin tickets are completely worthless if you've been playing since day one, and enormous value if you're playing today or any sooner time. So it's in a weird place, right? Where it's just like the longer you haven't been playing, the more skins you have to go back and get. I've been playing for 3 years. I just got the Stenny skin. Because that's how long I had to save up not buying one of those packs. So that's why I say it's too little.
I'm a hard no on skip tickets. I don't like anything that turns Epic 7 into an idle game. I don't think idle games do nearly as well. Idle games aren't main games. Epic 7 needs to keep players in the games. We've already got background battlings. You can vote different on this if you like. I think skip tickets are terrible
it's
for the game.
It's one of those things where for me, I'm not emotionally invested in this because we use emulators. It's like I have no problem. I think if I only could use my phone, I think I would have a differing opinion. As in, like, I would want it.
If you want to make it so that skip tickets aren't available for Hunt, I say fine. I would, however, say make skip tickets available for Advent first, Advent, and when you recomplete side stories that have already come out, and you have to complete them, or Expedition.
Make skip tickets available only for things that don't have background battling.
Yeah, there you go. That's fine.
If you give unlimited skip tickets, though, you're gonna see whales just go crazy. Oh my lord.
Okay, so anybody that says unequipped cost should be removed entirely, get ready to add a 0 to the cost of crafting your gear, upgrading your items. They because otherwise just remove gold from the game. It's a useless thing if they remove unequipped cost and don't raise costs somewhere else. Equivalent exchange. I do think it should be every weekend though.
I say this. I think you should be able to switch your builds. Like, as somebody, I like switching my builds around every now and again. Being able to switch my builds has been so awesome, man. Between like each week, like I could change it up because I stream and like people know what my gear looks like, and they could use that information for their own benefit. So, like,
I'll say this on a different perspective. I feel like Stigma used to be that thing that nobody cared about and had no value. But now it does have value because you could super pump it to make gold, as Tristen Wolf's excellent video pointed out, right? But then that goes to show that like there's a non-vital currency that's being used to prop up the value of a vital currency. I think it's very weird. If you know the stories about WoW or any MMO and the problems it experiences with like trying to get people to dump currencies, I think it makes sense. But I think still at the same time, gold is too much freaking value, especially like I, for a long time, hunted, and I hunted so much that I didn't have enough gold because I was re-rolling the shop to get every limited character within my first year of playing. And my third year in, I'm still trying to catch up to the amount of claws I made during that period. So I do think it is a bit ridiculous, and this is one way to help mitigate that.
You ever look at a survey and go, hey, that's mine? Because this makes me want to throw my damn computer every time it happens.
Would you like?
I recognize that immediately. It's a simple UI change, and it's so not intuitive now. And every time I go to change an EE, next thing I know, I'm taken all the way over to the Hall of Trials shop, into the shop, and I have to click that back button like 5 times to get to the lobby.
I had
to
look
up my unit
exactly
again.
what you were talking about.
Oh my god!
I'm going to be honest with you. I agree with this change because I accidentally pressed the wrong button and I saw you fuming mad. So that's what makes me know it's bad.
I get more mad about this than 3% in RTA. this is every time it happens, I'm like, because it's so stupid. It's so counterintuitive.
It's like
such a small thing.
You know what it is? You know what this is? This is the equivalent of when like somebody fucks up your order at a restaurant and you're like, just let me go back there and fix it myself. You could like just let me go back. I know the answer. Just let me do it myself, right? It's that frustration every time.
You know what? I want to keep it in to tilt Tristen. All right, moving on.
I would love for the back button to actually act like a back button. I'd love to be able to, like, you know, look at equipment in my backpack, then go look in the storage and hit the back button and go back to my backpack instead of the lobby. I'd love to be looking at my units in AI, hit the back button, and not go to the lobby. Go back to the previous screen. I'd love to be able to go and look and go and check out my completion of my units on a background battling thing and hit back and not have it throw me back to the lobby. But at the same time, this is a UI shift and actually is probably a lot of behind-the-scenes coding to make this behave differently.
Oh, absolutely.
So even though I would really, really like this, I'm going to say no.
I will say I want it, but I know it can't be put in.
Right. On a. You ever do those things where you can pick 1 hard, 3 medium, and 5 easy changes to effect? Yeah, this would be a hard category effect. It's just not enough bang for the difficulty buck behind it. Which quality of life would you like for summoning penguins? Oh, for the love of God, let me actually know. It's got to be a slider, right? There's a slide. There we go. Let us do a freaking. Now we want a slider.
Now we want one, dude.
You know how long it took to sell 1.2 million stigma worth of penguins?
Know, bro. I mean, I had to do 200. I had to do 200K, and I thought I was gonna.
I broke three mice doing that.
3 mice. 3 poor mice. Those poor 3 mice.
Would you like crescent shape added to the profile card? Yes, Bianca can do more anime hair. If
dude, you guys should see the art, man. I'm sure they have. You did a video on it, actually.
Once again, future Tristen will flash up a couple profile cards. Just steal them from our guild.
You think expeditions should be able to? Yes. $25. Yes, but only one at a time. Queuing multiple up's a bit insane.
Yeah.
You can't queue multiple hunts up. Why should you queue multiple expos up?
Wait, actually, is there anything else we'd like to add to profile card customization that we could think about?
If you can think of something, put it in there. But
more layers.
Yeah, we'll just
200 layers. I don't care. Just however, more layers.
I'll say this: I'd like an RGB circle so we can pick specific.
Oh yeah. That's a good one. That is actually a good one.
You know, I'm not going to try. I'm trying not to influence the way people vote. I'm just trying to give them my opinion on things, and I'm sure you guys are trying to do the same. But on this one, I'm trying to influence the way people vote. I mean, show them that you're interested in the story. If you want the stories to be decent, if you don't want them to just phone it in like Chapter 4, show them that you're interested in the stories and lore that they're writing. Otherwise, what's their motivation?
Can you guys please say yes?
I will say
read all of it.
There should be underneath it. It should say "Hire DivineShadow to write the story." If you put me in there, I swear I do this for a living. I'll fix it. We won't have to go through another 3 chapters of racism bad.
Dude, did he unironically say I can fix it?
I can fix her. I can fix her.
So this is a weird one because it's not. It's not like it's asking them to add it. It's just asking if we'd be more invested or interested. Dude, like, yeah, if I got to hear the units talking, who wouldn't be more? But I understand that's an insane.
Lot of money.
Yeah, Epic 7 throws a tremendous amount of money at the quality and number of VAs they have.
You're not bringing Matthew Mercer back to voice.
Yes, yeah, that's what I'm saying. Exactly. That's exactly what I was thinking. Imagine having to get what's her name? The girl that does Ilnov, Christina V. Imagine having to bring her back.
Every time you want to release a new chapter,
well,
it doesn't even make sense, right? Because it's clear that like the chapter development is done in such a way where you wouldn't be able to front load all of it at once, but then at the same time to also bring in these voice actors continually, you'd have to have them record from their houses, and that introduces a problem with standardizing quality. Yeah, it's a nightmare. It's a nightmare. As somebody who's done VA work with voice actors, it's always a nightmare. It's always a freaking nightmare.
Yeah, you know what? I'm happy with the current number of animated cutscenes once an anime is put out. Until they give us an anime, we need more damn cutscenes.
I was actually kind of unhappy that they didn't have an animated cutscene for this next
I
chapter.
will say this: I want
Agree.
animated cutscenes that make sense. Like you watch the World Cup cutscene and you see Rylet barely holding on against LQC's sword. You're like, why is this? In what world? Like, give me some real story stuff. I want to see like I think the best thing we could have had was the actual fight between Zahak and Rand animated. Like they fought 3 times, and it feels like one of those had to be animated. None of them were. It was just Auden. It was just Auden.
I want this feature, by the way.
If it's only visible to the person, if it's not like profile cards where it's in other people's face, because people will abuse it. But if it's just the only way other people see it is if you stream it or share screenshots, then I'm cool with this.
Like Genshin has one, like a teapot. I love that sort of stuff. It's kind of fun.
This is a simple UI fix that I don't really care about, because just wait 2 days and go into Spirit Altar. But
bro, no, bro. This was annoying me the hell out of me.
Yeah, it's annoying
that we didn't have this.
It's annoying and it's a simple change.
This is a question you have to ask on the one day where you're like, green runes were yesterday. I need 30 small green runes.
Who doesn't say yes to that?
Yeah.
Would you like energy in your mailbox to be used while auto battling? No.
Yeah, I'll say this. I want energy that expires in my box to be spent instead of just expiring. I'll say that.
Auto claimed instead. Yeah.
Yeah, okay. I didn't even realize I was going to
Literally the next one.
Literally the next one. Friend slots to be increased.
Bro, no.
Who cares?
Well, we have enough friends.
It's a databasing thing, and databasing can get tricky with games like this. It's why we have limited equipment slots and unit slots. Do you think we need additional artifact storage slots? I've never been challenged on artifact storage.
I literally...
and I've got like every artifact in the game and a lot of dupes.
I literally don't even come close.
Currently, people can join expos and leech and do 0 damage. Do you think this needs to be... I mean, Breed kind of addressed it, but I mean, how do they address it?
I mean, those people are still going to leech though, Tristen, because it takes time to do expos, and they're not getting actually like punished for doing that. Yeah. Right? I know it helps that we could just one-shot it, but still.
You have to remember, this goes all the way back to some of the discoveries Blizzard made. You don't want to punish people. You always want to reward excellence. You don't want to punish it, right? So
yeah,
you need to say you get 150% of the rewards if you do X. And at that point, you have to consider what you're doing to the economy. So I'm actually probably going to say no, but it is a problem.
Yeah. I mean, I think honestly, I think Breed solves pretty much all of this, because I don't know. I don't know.
Being able to one-shot does not solve people being...
Yeah, I'll flip back and forth on this for an hour. Would you like more team slots to be added? I don't care.
No.
It's another UI change. Don't like it.
Moving on.
How do you feel about the lobby background update?
Love it. I love it. It's really cool.
I honestly like this because I like as much as cool as the lobby backgrounds are and the customized ones are. I'm back to using the generic one because I like it. It's more interactive, more movements, more things going on.
Yeah,
with the exception of the summer one, but as we roll, it's gonna be weird having the summer beach thing going on while you're putting up your Christmas tree, right?
Yeah, I like seasonal stuff.
Yeah. How do you feel about the release of limited rate-up banners this year in Epic 7?
hey, listen, great job. Keep it
too slow.
Right.
Is anybody saying this?
No, Tristen, really sit here with me for a second, right? This question's so bad, he put more limited equals better, just to make sure you knew what the hell you were saying, right?
Yeah.
It's the only question that gets clarification, like,
I mean,
all right, just in case you're doing this, dumbass, just make sure you know what you're saying, dumbass.
Well, there are some people that like it. There's some people that like, you play games like Star Rail where every single banner is limited, and and they're totally okay with that because they come around more often, but the rate of return of limited banners is so slow, with the exception of the semi-annual at best, more likely annual custom banner, and you can only pick 3. We got 11 limited units in a 5-week period. It was crazy.
Yeah, you can only pick 3, and remember what happened with Guilty Gear, where if it was your first year, you couldn't even get all of them because you could only pick 3.
Oh, I know, right? You couldn't even pick all 4 of them. It was nuts. So
It was
yeah,
crazy. Yeah.
I'm not a fan of limited units anyway, but I understand their necessity in a gacha game. How they're some of the biggest money makers from FOMO to collabs. I understand the necessity. I still don't like them.
This is once again fundamentally a problem with Smilegate's pipeline, where like half of the year we don't get anything, and the other half of the year it feels like it's raining limited units, right?
Yeah,
it really did feel like that. I agree.
Yeah, it's just pacing issues.
Pacing, yeah. It's crazy because they're gonna have that issue next year too.
How do you feel about the new release Moonlight Blessing Fallen Land? It's nice.
I would have preferred a different one because I wanted Emma Leica. But
well,
no,
yeah. I mean, if you look at the units that you get Moonlight tickets using, those are the ones that are on the Blessing, and it gives you more access to it. I like that they're doing things with the Moonlight Theater. You watch the Moonlight Theater, you get endeared on the units. Now you have access to them. I kind of like that.
No, I like the Heroes of Veil. I got DDR out of it anyway. I don't like speed imprints.
I don't like speed imprints. I don't like heroes that invalidate entire styles of play. She invalidates a skill set. I don't like anything that says ignore ER that doesn't involve using a soul burn, and I don't even much like it on a soul burn.
I don't like her because I don't like her character, and because her introduction is that she killed the only character I was looking forward to in this entire game story. So screw it.
I don't like that she jumps off of a tower and shoots a big old bag of explosives to set it off. You know how hard it is to shoot a bag of explosives and make it detonate like that? Ain't this girl never heard of a fuse? She's just not a smart character. So no, I don't like her.
I also just don't like it because I feel like she's just gonna be Auden 2.0. So
she's ridiculous, though. I will say that she's very good.
I like draft mode. It's nice, especially for newer players. It gives new players a way to compete and have fun in this mode without feeling like they're just getting run over because they're yearlings.
Added, but that's just like
I've talked about it before, but like I like this. I would like them to do limited drafts. I'd like a mulligan feature, and I'd like them to be like, okay, you can set it so only season 1 characters, right? Like year 1 characters a pop, or only RGB characters pop up in the drafts, right? Something like that. Yes, and that's the most obvious thing in the world. Why are we still getting 78 gear?
Somebody's actually going to click no on that at some point. Somebody somewhere on the server is going to click no.
Like the fact the 5th anniversary gear was a 78 just kind of felt. I don't know if you guys felt
5th anniversary.
I can't use 78 gear.
No, nobody can.
How it rolls.
It is we have 85, 88, and 90. It is freaking 3 tiers down from what people are using and looking for. So the 5-year anniversary piece was SAB was C tier quality.
Yeah, no.
What are your thoughts on chapter 5 thus far? I mean, I like the story.
I haven't read it yet, so
it's slow and it's formulaic, but it's world building.
I don't like it at all. The bow character guy is just like, it feels like the angst of Tehu brought with the unlikability of Auden into one character.
Oh yeah, that guy.
I feel like it being racism part 2, where I was just like, we had a whole story about racism, and you didn't get all your racism out, and we're still continuing on with it. I feel like
let's not go too far on it, so we don't spoil it. Okay.
Listen, I gotta say, I don't like the quality. I'm trying to get Tristen to change his answers. Really want to, but like, I'm really trying to.
I mean, if he likes it, he likes it, right? Like,
listen. If I'm pretty sure if I list enough of the dumb stuff in it.
Let me tell you what I like about it, and I'll try to be as spoiler free as possible.
Yeah.
They're talking about the Tree of Genesis. They're referring to the celestial conflict. They're referring to getting involved in that, and the universe standing up against universal forces. It really feels like they're re-engaging the original story with the Celestial War and the Dark Nebula and Nilhelm and Prima, and it really feels like they're re-engaging that initial lore story that they completely abandoned when they went over to mess around with Aiden and Teiyu, so I'm kind of hopeful that that's where we're going.
And I'd agree with you if there were a single error in there.
All right, moving on.
Moving on.
We're taking too much time on that.
Oh yeah. We want people to care more about the story. I start talking about it. We got to move on.
I like the Tree of Life mechanic because although it's a bit of a pain in the butt, it's one and done. It's not grind thousands of stamina to make your notoriety better with this country, not to get the specialty change done on this unit to buy this APA shot. I hate it all, and though this is difficult and a little annoying, and you just have to look up guides to deal with it a lot of times, it's a heck of a lot better than spending 3,000 stamina and hours of time.
I like it because the rewards are better. I'll say it flat out. The rewards are just better. Yeah.
How do you feel about the summer event imprint mechanics?
I love it. Fire event.
Fire event. You know, whatever. Tristen Wulf more subs and viewers.
Who doesn't like pay to win PvE? Come on, guys.
Yeah, dude. I love it.
God, that was
no one likes that shit.
Unbelievable they did that.
Yeah, that was so bad.
I used to encourage people to play Epic 7 because of how free-to-play friendly it is. And because of that event, I've stopped doing that. I can't in good conscience recommend it as a free-to-play friendly game anymore. And I'm hoping one day I'll be able to again, but it's going to take some time to build that confidence back up. How do you feel about double speed battling update?
I have an iPhone 14.
I won 3 times.
I hate it, but I love it. Right? I hate it, but I love it. It makes some of the units look silly. Destina looks ridiculous when she's running. It cheapens the animation, but I use it every single day. So yeah, I hate it, but I love it.
Skip when she's
play the animation in RTA if you want it. Okay.
3x animation would turn Destina into a vibrating chipmunk. I just can't. I can't.
I want to hear. I want them to pitch up the voices so I can hear AOL in 3 times speed.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
You notice the only thing I don't like about the UH revamp is that the different levels of UH have different payout. That levels 30 through 33 have the highest payout, and if you want a specific farm, a targeted catalyst, it's a lower payout for the lower levels, and that's just silly because it's not a huge difference, but it's there. It's enough that you notice it. You know, you get 500 stigma instead of 525, which doesn't seem like a lot until you farm it 1,000 times, right? I hate that they did that. But overall, the revamp is great.
Agreed.
How do you feel about... Some questions aren't answered. What did I miss?
Wasn't me.
No, I the same thing happened to me. I just hit.
I like.
How do you feel about the Google Play PC client?
I've been using it, but you can't. I don't think.
I can, but because my accounts, although I play on a iDevice, it's a Google account, it's a Gmail account.
I was more so than I didn't know.
Yeah, I mean, I want a standalone client.
I'd rather a standalone too.
I can't wait for you to hit next. That first question's that.
Which best fits your feeling about the most recent balance patch?
Not enough, but yeah, I get it because it's E7 World Cup patch.
Yeah, I mean, too much. And I'm going to say the buffs were just right because they couldn't change the entire meta rolling into the World Cup, although they released ML Landy, so best laid plans, right?
You know what? I mean, you know what? I'll thread the needle and go for 3. The heroes selected to be buff were not ML Haste.
Yep. I'll accept that. How do you feel about the rate at which balance adjustments are done?
I want them more, but I mean,
everybody. I am right here, but everybody I talk to wants it faster. Like I like for there to be time for it to happen and see the impact from it and adjust to it, get used to it.
Maybe I don't want it faster. I want more.
Let me break it down. Yeah. Let me break it down. Actually, I think I have your answer here, Red. The problem is that they'll do balance. They do balances in different states. There's the unit that gets completely reworked, right? There's the unit that gets a small little buff because they want to see what's going on, and then there's a unit that just doesn't hit the mark, right? So you'll get like the Ruel buffs, where everyone feels like it was a wasted slot. It's like Smash, right? Where just like, I wanted Travis Touchdown and Doom Guy in, and having Cloud is a wasted slot. It's the same exact feeling where it's just like nobody cared about Ruel. It wasn't even enough what you did to her, and now it just feels like we got to wait 8 additional weeks to get something real in. It's not.
Yeah.
If you don't have a problem with the buff cycle, I think the bigger problem is that it never feels like enough is getting buffed.
Yeah, that's me.
And to say even better, it doesn't feel like enough effective buffs are coming through. Things that actually change characters and the game.
So it's a quality, not quantity issue.
Yes.
Yeah, I think. Yeah,
How
I don't
often do you think
they-
the balance adjustments should be conducted?
every week, every
Every
week.
half year.
Every half.
What do you think?
What is it now?
I think it's monthly, which is monthly what it is now.
I think so. It's something like that.
It's either
might be
monthly or
It's
every
6
six.
weeks. I'm pretty sure it's
I
every
think it's every 6 weeks.
Yeah.
I think
Then I'm
that,
fine with
like
that.
I said, I think the rate in which they're going is fine.
Okay,
They
here
just
we
need to
go.
do
Here we
more
go.
with
Yeah.
it.
Here's the number of artifacts and heroes on the balance
That
patch.
should be increased.
Now
in
this
my
should be
opinion.
increased significantly or slightly.
I would say I
it's
would go
weird,
significantly,
right?
but I think slightly is the best.
Yeah.
It slightly is safer. I think it has to be significantly if they're going to keep doing like small touch. Here's my thing, right? It should be something like we rework one unit, then we give major changes to say 3, then we do minor changes to like 2 or 4 that we're hoping to get into a good spot later. That's what it should be like.
Yeah.
This one's a bit of a loaded question. How do you feel about the patches overall? Josh worded it well, but you know the buffs often are appropriate, sometimes are appropriate, or rarely are appropriate. I
I
mean,
think it's sometimes. It's a hit
it's
or
sometimes. Yeah, it's either the unit
We had
is
that
really
we had
well
that
done,
really
or
good
it's
buff
like
patch.
who asked.
We had a really good buff patch with the LRK one. If you guys
Yeah.
remember that one, it had like Lilius, LRK. It had like really like a good amount and had really substantial buffs. So it's sometimes.
I think if you listed them all, like if you looked up every single unit that was balanced this year and you sifted them into this positively impacted the usability of this unit versus it did nothing for the unit, I think it'd be about a 50-50.
Yeah, it would probably be about a 50. Because like LHC was buff latch patch and she's gone crazy.
She's on a tear.
This one everybody can fill out to their heart's content because that's a whole vibe right there.
I should just say something specific about what we said up there for a second. When it comes to the balance patches, I think that it's less about what they choose and what they don't choose, and moreover so that when we get these balance patches every so often, I'm really sitting here like we had that one really good balance patch that I think a lot of people liked, which was very night focused. That was
the LRK one.
Yeah,
Yep.
I'd like balance patches with clearer direction. I'd like balance patches with like that feel like it's trying to push something in the game with an objective rather than this shit's weak, get it up there.
I think they do. The problem is that they look at the problem that's happening right now and they start to design their balance patch around it. And then 6 weeks later, they release the balance patch, but that problem has been mitigated by people figuring out how the unit worked, a counter unit coming out for it, or the meta changing entirely because something was released or changed. And suddenly their balance patch feels like the number of times I heard, well, this change would have been great, last season. It's like, well, last season's probably what they were making this change to deal with. The meta just changes faster than than they were able to keep up with. And I don't think speeding up release fixes that. I think that's just an issue with how long it takes them to do things in this game.
Yeah. Oh, these next 3 questions are good, by the way. This is going to be fun.
Well, this one we skip because
this one
that's
Specimen
subjective.
says ML Haste. That's all I got to say.
With Veronica out at this point, ML Celine. ML Celine got killed by Veronica. Wait, what?
What? he's lost it. Shut down the video. We gotta get into the hospital.
Dude, Rand.
Somebody get his kid in the room. Get his kid in the room.
After the Huayoung
Dude,
nerf, how do you feel about nerfs?
Dude, I have such a.
I don't want nerfs, and I
don't want nerfs because they kill the unit. They just
they have to.
it.
They have to. I mean,
they have to though.
We've been on this huge discussion, and I won't get into it here, or we'll be in this for an hour. But when they swing the way they do nerfs, when they swing the axe, they have to make sure it kills. because the nerfs cost money. Nerfs piss off the community. They can always buff it back later, which is monetizable and pleases the community. But if they have to nerf it twice, then it costs them money twice and pisses off the community twice. So they have to burn it to the ground to build back later. It's the only fiscally responsible way that Smilegate can nerf. And I hate it, but it's the bed they've made.
I want Nerfs, but I don't know if we can have them because they just
I feel like
I don't want Nerfs because we can't have them the way they do Nerfs.
I feel like Sue and Genizad and all these people have talked about smart ways that you can mitigate the need for Nerfs if you don't want Nerfs, right? I still want Nerfs, but put in a future league, make it so that the community understands that changes can be reverted to buffs on units, and please stop releasing one unit every year that breaks the entire game, and we now have to create 4 units to counter that do it semi-effectively over the next year. That's it.
Smilegate has shown that they're a company of tradition, and I don't know if that's a Korean business thing or if it's a Smilegate thing or some combination of both. But they're a company of tradition, and if they do it one way once, they will always do it that way. And every time somebody says, "Well, all they have to do is to not do the recalls, to not give out the selectors, to not do this, is to do it differently," they won't. They did it once that way, and they will always do it that way.
Everyone's gonna be mad if they spent money on it. It's just simple.
Well, I'm just saying, I mean, like they can do minor adjustments and not as like they changed a typographical error in a unit's skills description that gave no functional change to the unit, and we all got a recall and a selector ticket out of it. They won't. If they do a nerf, they do the full Monty, and it's a huge disaster for them financially and for the community socially. The only way that I've conceived of that they can do responsible nerfs is using the frenzy mechanic and literally doing things like units named ML Landy get minus 50% health. Units named Apoc Ravi can no longer raise on S3. Just do targeted frenzy stuff, because then it's not a nerf to the unit.
That gave the sachets.
Yeah,
the 10% on kill, that was crazy.
The one that said,
I don't want them doing that, but that was
losers. Now, Tristen, hit next and then click 10 immediately. Don't even think about it.
Okay. How? Okay, yeah. Come on.
I got you, yeah.
Yes, I would buy the art book, but I already bought the art book. That's the funny part.
I need to research this deeper, but I was told years ago that they pitched an anime to Netflix and Netflix turned it down.
Well, Netflix might have a different opinion now. Right,
because I mean, this was before Netflix was big into anime. Now they're huge into it, but after that, they initially started seeking out other places to publish the anime, and eventually just gave up on it and started doing their web novel thing. Now that could be entirely hearsay and fake news, but I do remember hearing that years ago.
I'm going to be real. All I have to say is this. If you do an Epic 7 anime, I want 2 things. Either make it live action, which will be hilarious, or make it a prequel to the 7th world so it can have a good story instead of Epic 7s. That's it.
It is available in other regions. You can get a VPN, go to the Japanese Amazon, create a Japanese Amazon account, buy the virtual art book, and get the Mercedes skin. A friend of mine did it just last week.
Yep.
And I already bought it.
Yeah, but no, I don't like the Mercedes skin, so I wouldn't do it. It's just not my cup of tea.
That's a take. Okay, moving on.
Hey, won the Mercedes skin.
I like Arky.
I love that skin.
Hey, no, Red, I like Arky, right? I like Arky, and I think it's uncool that Mercedes kills Arky, skins him, and is there wearing his ears and making his skin a book cover. It's just just too much, man. Too much.
Damn, she thick. Okay, moving on.
She thick.
If you could choose what IP you would like Epic 7 to collaborate, please
I'm
list
so bad
one.
On this, man. I wish it was Rising of the Shield Hero, but I am.
Hello, kitty.
I'm an absolute. No,
we gotta spend at least what? You gotta give me an honest answer, Tristen.
SpongeBob.
What do you think? Okay, give me a real answer. Cut this guy out. What do you think? Honestly, Epic 7 needs to collaborate with.
Bro, I already said one. Rising of the Shield Hero would actually make sense.
I want to hear Tristan's real answer right here, right now.
Red won't like it.
Oh no.
Oh no.
I think a One Piece collab would be fun.
Oh god, dude, I'm
told
leaving.
you.
Dude,
And I think
pirates that can't
it's
swim,
relevant.
bro.
The pirates who can't swim collab, yeah.
Pirates who can't swim.
All right, moving on, bro.
Told you you would like it. I mean, think how well it would fit. We got this naval captain Landy pirate flan thing going on, which clearly is inspired by that. We got the new Netflix live adaptation. I mean, the chamber's primed for it, and the units could work. Be a hell of a lot better than a Hello Kitty collab. I tell you that.
I'm gonna load my gun with 2 bullets. I know it only says please list 1, but I'm gonna load it with 2 bullets. I'm going near Automata and Capcom in general.
Yeah,
that's it. Let it go from there.
Yeah, near collabs with everything. Would you buy Epic 7 merchandise if it was available locally? I would.
Yes, absolutely. I love.
This answer is required.
Yeah, I told you.
You better put One Piece in, bro. You gotta live and die on this.
Okay, guys, we made it to the last page in 1 hour and 55 minutes. Your final thoughts you'd like to relay to Epic 7. This can be positive, negative. Be respectful.
Be respectful. Landy,
please.
What can I say? No, just kidding.
Give the CM a pay raise. For real. There ain't no way in the world that these people are paying Mashu enough.
You gotta put FRFRONG.
All the CMs. In fact, I'll say please give
FRONG.
In fact, add on to that. Please give them a pay raise and please give them reasonable hours to work with. I don't know why they keep doing these events, especially when they did the tournaments with us, when they did them at like 8 p.m. And like, not only does the community have to wake up at 11 to see a tournament, it also means the CMs to mod that tournament and to make sure nothing bad happens have to work at 11 p.m. Please.
You type that. That's a lot to type.
Yeah, no. For real, on God, dude. Give them a pay raise. They do two.
Wait. Hang on. I need to adjust this. There we go. Now it's right.
All right, cool. Yeah.
We did it, guys. Under 2 hours. I didn't think it was possible after we were on page 3 at 1 hour.
Yeah, we spent that.
9 and 10 were obviously a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah, we did.
So, I mean, this is community driven. There's no Leaf or Skystone reward from doing this. It's something that was set up by DukeJosh. The questions were all fueled by comments on Discord and Twitch and DMs, people that sent him ideas. He polled a lot of people to put this together. And it may seem like a giant waste of time, but 70% or more of his last survey, the things that were well voted on, that were highly suggested, were implemented within a year. It could be because a lot of this stuff is the natural course and direction of the game. It's obvious that they're already improving graphics, so when we say we want better graphics, they're already doing that. But I can't believe that some of these that many of his suggestions just randomly occurred. We know they look at these, we put these right in the hands of the CMs, and they tell us that the developers and the higher ups look forward to this survey, look forward to seeing what people's opinions are. And it's one of the few sources of positive feedback that Smilegate gets from the community. Constructive feedback, I should say. So I encourage everybody to take the survey, and it's long, but it's worth your time to do it.